Thank you. Honored to be here and represent the Big Ten Conference in the great state of Ohio. Coach Petersen and I have been friends a long time. I admired his programs to the point that I actually went and visited him when he was at Boise State. And I've often told the story, I'm not sure I told Chris this, that in 2006, we were playing, I was at Florida playing Ohio State, ironically for the national title, and they were playing Oklahoma a few days before us, and I was trying to get some sleep, and that's when they did the hook and ladder and the statue. Shelly punched me in the side and said, well, why don't you be creative like Chris and run plays like that? So I still hold that against Chris. We're honored to be here. The Rose Bowl committee and hospitality in Los Angeles has been awesome, and we hope to perform well and make the granddaddy of all the most watched bowl game of the season.
Yeah, this has been an awesome week. This has been something that I think our staff, a lot of people from the state of Washington have been longing to come back here. And you know, after the week of being here, you can see why. First-class operation, going to play an elite team. It is kind of ironic being here with Urban, going back with him and some of the notes we've compared and shared. And you always want to play in something like this, and then sometimes you end up, it's like you're playing a game that you thought about all along, and you look and you say, it's going to be against him? But we are honored and proud. I'm proud of our team, how hard those kids have battled, been through a lot of different things. Hadn't been easy, but it never is.
Bowl yesterday for the first time, I presume, ever. What was that like for you? And you know, I know you've told the story of being kicked out before.
Well, I had to ask to go in it because I've never been in to see it. And back in the 90s, I can't remember exactly what year, I drove by it and stopped. And I used to recruit out here all the time. And I stopped and I was going to try to sneak peek inside because I've heard about it for so many years and watched it. And I was told to leave. And I might add, the guys were really rude too, but it was awesome. You know, and I wasn't able to completely see the mountains, but I'm sure we'll see that. I keep hearing that tomorrow.
This dispatch over here. You said legacy is important to you to a certain point. Maybe at the top of that list is 7-0 against Michigan. Talking to players about how you handled that. Where did you learn, what's the key to that success, and how did you learn not to overemphasize it or underemphasize it? If you could speak to that.
Yeah, that started, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that because it means the world to us. Rivalry games, I hear people say that it's just a named faceless opponent. And that's not the approach we've taken. You know, we worked that game 365. When I was the head coach of Bowling Green, we did that at the team up north called Toledo. When we went to Utah, we did a team down south to BYU. And then in Florida, you had 3 rivals. You had Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida State, and then also Miami. So you had 4 times. And we, that's not a game we work, you know, that's something that our players know. And here, we work that game 365. We've already been working it out here. How do we do that? Follow the recruiting, follow everything they do, and we take time out of the off season, take time during spring practice. Every practice we work on that. During the summer training camp, Coach Mick calls it the Team Up North Day, and then every day during training camp we work on it. So it's that was the Woody Hayes mentality. That's really been everyone's mentality at Ohio State. I think everybody knows the moment, and that was in Columbus around Thanksgiving time, that big win, and see our players play at that level, and the seriousness, the respect we have for the rival, our opponent. I mean, it was an awesome week, and I had a good feeling about that game just because of the leadership on our team, and to see those players play like that, that was without doubt best moment.
Do you get nervous for games, and does tomorrow and what it means make it any different for you?
I don't think nervous is a strong enough term before a game. Deathly ill might be more appropriate. Yeah, you get very nervous. And once again, it's not about the coach, it's about the player. We do everything we do, really up to, we call it the 48-hour rule. Everything we do up until game time is to make sure they're not in that. But I don't want to speak for Chris, but we actually talked about this over the years, and absolutely, what runs through a coach's mind is that every scenario that happens, it's not fair to that player to not be prepared when that hits. And some people say, well, they just got to shoot from the hip, and we don't believe in that. We believe in trying to put them in those many positions as you can, so when it does hit, they know how to react. So nervous is probably not a strong enough word.
To you both, Coach Meyer, you referenced the hook and ladder. Is there a way to prepare for what he might bring? And Coach Pete, do you have a couple of those ready?
I'll let Chris answer first.
No.
No?
That's all I got.
No, we've worked on quite a bit, on special teams as well. We've been pretty good in kicking game. We just want to make sure that whenever a team has 3 weeks to prepare, and it's an excellent coach and coaching staff and great players, you got to work on it all, and we have, and I've been the thorn in the side of the defensive staff this week.
You seemed to share a moment with J.K. Dobbins yesterday during the team photo. I mean, he seemed to break down maybe a little bit standing next to you. And are you going to miss that as much as anything else? And also, like you said, the deathly ill feeling before a game. Don't you kind of get used to that?
No, you don't get used to that, but I will miss the players. And the good thing is, I think I'm going to still be in position at least to be around the players and hug them up and make sure that the focus that I've had really the last part of my career is making sure that these guys don't get used by the system. That there's opportunities for them after the game, and that's what I'm going to be able to spend a ton of time on that.